Boom. I think we're there. I think we did it. Welcome back. Curmudgeons Corner 22. Off to a good start. We got the graphics to work like they were supposed to. Good to see you, Adrian. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me be here. I'm excited.
Absolutely. From what I understand, one of our fellow detailer YouTuber people, they're still got a little show going on. They usually keep it pretty close to an hour, so we tried to space it so we didn't have to share the audience. So we'll just kind of let everybody kind of just drift in. We'll say hello to everybody that has showed up. It's a Friday night. Everybody and anybody could be anywhere, and yet they chose to be here with us, which is really, really exciting. It's what this Phoenix family is all about. Humberto, he's been chatting with us for 2 days now since I posted the thumbnail, and we got Eileen's in here, and Mary Green, the detailer. So that means Australia's in the house. Tim from Shine Your Light, HM, welcome aboard, everybody. Thank you so much for coming out, Mary. I think this is the first time I've seen Mary in the show, so that's great. Thank you so much for being here. Who else we got? We want to say, Ryan Hansen's in the house. Papa Smurf is in the house. Oh my goodness, I love it already. Thanks so much, everybody, for being here. Curmudgeons Corner 22. We're just gonna kind of ease into it. Adrian, again, thank you for being here on a Friday night. Wow, it's exciting.
Yeah, thank you. Nice to see all the people jump in.
Humberto, I don't speak Spanish, bro. Rich Smith, how's it going? Bop. So, how was your day? Good to see you.
My day's going awesome so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been working behind the scenes, as we'll share in a minute, but just trying to take care of stuff and making some noise.
Texas Dee in the house. Hey yo. It's quite a little setup you got behind you. I'm digging those vibes.
You may call me biased. I don't know. I'm just saying.
No habla. That's exactly right, HM. I don't speak it at all. I think the last thing I translated from Humberto is that he's got the plague. He's fast with the plague. I don't know what that means, but
yeah, he's like the ninja. We'll talk about the story soon, but
all right.
Yeah,
I'm excited about it. Ryan Lawhorn's in the house. Always good to see you. Appreciate you guys. Again, there's a million places you guys could be on a Friday night, and you're hanging out with us. I don't know if that bodes well for us or if it says something bad about you, but I'm grateful that you're here, and I really appreciate it. Thanks. The channel is growing. The support's been growing, and it's really, really been fun to be a part of all of this, and just how synergistic it's all been, and it really, truly does feel like a family. It really does. It feels like a family, sometimes we hate our little brother, but most of the time we like everyone. So Tracy's in the house. Good to see you. Dang, they let anyone on here these days. Yeah. Notice how it hasn't been Papa Smurf in a while, I might add.
Yeah.
I don't know where he's been.
I'm a stunt double. I'm the bald head with the beard. My beard's just not long enough.
I forgot. That's great. So, about 5 minutes into the thing, I don't know how quickly you want to dive into the meat and potatoes of why we're here, but for everybody and anybody that doesn't know you, introduce yourself.
My name is Adrian Ferreira. I'm obviously owner of Detailed AF. Been detailing for quite some time now, and it gets quite addicting. There's a million stuff to play with. I had this itch of always trying to find what works best, what I like to use, different methods, practices, and it's just a continuous adventure. So here we are, getting to a point where things are starting to get serious.
Yeah. And where are you located out of?
I'm located in San Diego, California.
San Diego, sunny San Diego. I told you before, I used to live a little north of you. I can't think of a better place to grow up back in the 80s. I don't know how it is now, but in the 80s, that was a good time. There was, pretty much, it was almost like the Wild West for kids.
Yeah, it's been nice here. A lot has changed, but it's nice here for sure. Just getting quite expensive.
Yeah, well, I mean that's everywhere. I was actually talking with my marketing guy this morning, and just on a global economic stage, everything is so expensive. And talking to Papa Smurf, we talk every day on his drive into work, and it's like Taco Bell used to be like the place that you could go. You could have $10 and fill your belly with a taco box, and now $30 might get you 3 tacos. It's nuts how expensive everything has gotten across the board.
Yeah, I can't eat Taco Bell. It goes against my ethnicity. It's not as genuine enough for me.
Do you know Northwood Detailing? He says San Diego, which I believe means whale's vagina. I'm pretty positive. San Diego means whale's vagina. Aaron is in the bunker today. There was a bit of a delay between me being at the warehouse and being here, so I figured I'd just bring everything over here. And I am in the bunker. I went to San Diego and then went down to Tijuana. How close are you to Tijuana?
We're about I am about 10 minutes away.
Hey, you got a fan in the house. We'll talk about that very shortly, but I don't know if you saw that. Adrian, what's up, brother?
Yeah, Ricky. Awesome.
Ricky, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that
very shortly.
I want to hear all about it. I want to hear all about the MTE and Ricky and all that. He was one of the winners in the Pay It Forward contest. So there's definitely I'd love to hear the follow-up story behind that. 3-bedroom houses here in Australia were $250K 6 years ago. Today they sell for $550K for a 3-bedroom. Holy moly!
Yeah.
Good grief. That's a lot, man. Oh boy. Love me some Taco Bell. I know, I do too. But I hate the fact that I got nachos Belgrande, 2 taco supremes, and a burrito, and it cost me $30. I couldn't believe it. I was like,
yeah,
it's half sawdust, right? That's what I was told. I was told that half the meat is sawdust, and you're charging me $30. It's crazy. Tastes good. I mean, if all sawdust tastes like that, I'd eat it. But what do I know?
Yeah, I think any beef is $30 for the family these days now. It's insane.
Yeah, it's impossible. It's impossible. All right, so Adrian, let's talk about it. Detailed AF. Now, anybody that doesn't know you and doesn't know your last name, it could mean something completely different. And I don't know if you did that on purpose. I bet you did. From what I understand, you have a little bit of a marketing background. Is that accurate?
No, I just I sometimes come up with ideas that make myself laugh. And when I came up with the idea, just coincidentally, because my first and last initial make a nice pun, I said, let's go for it. So that's kind of where the name derived.
It works great. I love the double meaning. I definitely love the double meaning. It works. I'm a big fan of your logo. I don't think it'll show here. Maybe that's close. I couldn't shrink it down. I tried to shrink it down earlier, but I couldn't do it.
Want me to pull up a better image? Watch this. Look.
Oh.
I got one right here.
There it is. Yeah, it's catchy. It looks good, especially the colors. The what is? I guess it's almost like a neon teal.
Yeah, it's like a tealish color
on the black. I think it looks great. It really pops. So you said you've been detailing for a while. So let's talk about that. How did you get started? And how predominant of detailing is that in your life now?
I've always had some type of car that I like to maintain clean. Um, it's funny, the distinction between like cleaning and detailing is night and day to me now. So while I always thought I had something nice and shiny, I didn't really get into detailing after started watching a bunch of videos. Obviously, there's big marketing companies. I don't need to mention any names, but there's big marketing companies that get you hooked onto buying 500,000 products, different flavors, fragrances. And so that caught my attention. I started buying several different products. And so I kept testing it on my vehicles that I owned at the time. Then slowly venturing into polishing. Then shortly thereafter, doing ceramic coating. So that's been going on for over 10 years or so. And then seriously now, maybe probably a year or so it has been total. Was kind of keeping low key. Instagram started, let's say August of last year. So the Instagram life has been very short-lived, but growing well, and providing me opportunities. But yeah, it's been a fun experience, and kind of learning what the market advertises, or the marketing advertises versus what you experience in real life has always caught my attention, and trying to validate what people's opinions are. And I'll be honest, I think Instagram has been one of the great resources for me, because there's the big community and we all kind of share ideas not behind closed doors, but in essence via DM, right?
For sure.
And many of the people that I'm seeing pinging over here on the chats, I've been fortunate that they respond to me sometimes, and we brainstorm some ideas on, hey, what do you think of this, and what do you think of that, and how do you go about doing certain processes. So I've just been lucky to have people respond and communicate with, and get a good laugh at the same time.
For sure. And I've noticed that about you, that you have a great sense of humor, and you definitely, for lack of a better term, like you're a networking machine. And there's no better community than this to share ideas. And we need to get you actually into the Fab Family chat channel. It's a great channel, especially for sharing ideas and talking about problem solving stuff. I think you and I were talking about it earlier, but I think I've only run into one person in all of my circles that is holding on to his detailing technique secrets firmly, and doesn't want to share. Like I worked for 15 years to get to this level. I'm not sharing my techniques with anybody. But for the most part, I think everybody and anybody, especially the horsemen that I started out with, they all share this desire to share information, knowledge, techniques, making people's lives simpler and easier while they're detailing, how to avoid certain pitfalls, and what you're doing. And like, if you are experiencing a problem, you can share it, and everybody will troubleshoot. I think that's it's so beautiful about this community. Just that willingness. And I think that we at Phoenix try to emulate that by making products that make people's lives easier and detailing easier and are versatile. So, you don't have to buy 900 different products. You can buy a dozen and get everything that you need done. So, I'm so glad to have you as a member of the Phoenix family. And clearly, look at that lineup in the back. Woo! It's sexy.
It looks official. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I think it looks official.
I think it's the mug that's caught my attention the most.
Yeah. There's a mug, and you got a little certificate, and king size banner.
Hoorah! So now I think everybody knows from our social that you recently just did you just started recently holding installer classes in that garage. How did that happen? Like, how did that come about? Like, you had immediate success with that. How did that happen?
There's this guy named Aaron who gave me an opportunity to run some courses.
No. Like, stop. I appreciate what you're doing there. But I'm not taking credit. That was you like. I enabled it to happen, but you did everything. You had the outreach, you had the network, you had the desire, and you had people that wanted to come and learn how to do a ceramic install. So like I wanted to know that process, because there's a lot of people that hopefully someday will watch this episode and go, that's something that I want to do. I want to expand my business model. I know that's what Brian does from Apex. He does detailing, but then twice a year he also does a paint correction and a ceramic install class. He has a spring class and a fall class, and and people come from all around to learn how to do the installs and stuff like that. And I just I just felt that it was ambitious of you to pretty much come right out of the gate doing that, and it was very successful, and I love that. And so I just kind of wanted to know where that inspiration came from.
Well, there's a local community here that I've established friendships with, and that local community, we've been sharing some knowledge. Obviously, I've been supportive of the brand that you see all behind me. And with that, we had the opportunity to host an event. I decided to figure out how do you go about finding some panels to polish and practice on. Where do you get stands from? What other items do I need? Things to cover. What problems did I face when I was first learning? How do you educate those items? And so slowly started building the information that that I wanted to know when I first started that I didn't have, and using those fundamentals to be able to share to the group that participated. I kind of did a little probe and asked a couple people in the area, people that followed me on Instagram at the time, and I kind of did a probe, and we got some good responses, and that's where kind of ran with it a little bit more aggressive and said, let's make this happen. We had about a total of 6 people participating, all from different levels of the detailing world. Some of them just barely starting a business, to some that have been developed for some time already, and then those in the middle. And so you kind of, during the course, we had to adapt, and we had to shout out some of those people. We had Eileen from So Clean, who will be around the corner.
She's on Curmudgeons Corner 23 in 2 weeks.
Yes,
I'm excited about that.
She is. She became official to the Phoenix family. I love her drive, love her work ethic. She is. I'm a big fan of her. She may say the opposite, but that's my BFF over there.
I love her energy. I love her vibe. She's good peeps.
And then the other locals are just ones in which we've been working extremely close together for a lot of time, just brainstorming. They're sharing their resources. I share mine. We had So Clean, who's a Danny who works here locally. Amazing talent, amazing skill. Ray participated, who's only motos, working directly with Harley here, managing the motorcycles coming in and out. His certification is actually really cool because now he's handling all the motorcycles in San Diego with Phoenix E.O.D. Just something cool to kind of have a notch on your hat to show that the products are now at a San Diego Harley dealer being worked on. So, and then we had Jasmine, who works with Ray, and then Sal, who just started a new business called Hyperbeads, and so that was that community that kind of was built here locally with their support, my support, and coming together and making sure that the class or the course kind of involved the fundamentals. It got to a point where we did kind of block sanding and polishing to get the orange peel away and making like a glass finish, which was kind of a little bit above and beyond, but just kind of showing kind of beginning to end what are the true capabilities of a detailer and how far you could go before you start burning some paint.
Right. So in your day-to-day detailing experience, would you say that where would you say like the majority of the cars that you work on fall? What I mean by that is like Brian from Apex, he usually does like some pretty high-end, pretty expensive stuff. I don't know if you've seen some lately, but Brian Mayhall, Brian Jr. and Brian Mayhall were on our show a couple of months ago, and Brian Mayhall just posted some amazing pictures of incredible cars that it's like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to work on. Where would you say? All right, let me rephrase all this. All right, I don't know if you watched Next Level Chef on Fox, but there's basically 3 tiers of cooking. You're cooking in the basement, and it's just absolute junk equipment that you're working with.
Yeah.
What restaurants you see around the world. The highest level is the greatest equipment that you could possibly use, the Bentleys and Rolls Royces of cooking. So in those 3 tiers, where would you say the majority of what you detail, what you like to detail, what range do you fall in? Like for me, I could never do high level. I could never do it. I would be too afraid of my limited abilities to even remotely touch it.
I think now I would say mid to low is kind of where I'm living at the moment. I've had some vehicles that are what you would call on the high end. When you're first starting, I guess you have a fear of screwing something up that is extremely expensive. But as time progresses and your experience progresses, you come to realize that this may be true or not. But all paint is pretty darn similar, just dependent on soft, hard, and your practice of how you go about correcting it. So, but yeah, I think majority of the vehicles coming in and out that I work on have been kind of mid to low end. If we're talking about expenses of a vehicle, but yeah, they all truly have been a joy in some way, shape, or form. They've taught me some.
Sure.
So it's
I find it's definitely cathartic, and especially like that mid tier to low end where you don't, like I know Papa Smurf, he talks about it a lot. He's like, I'm not chasing every defect, I'm not chasing every scratch. I just want to make it look better and look better than the way it was brought to me, and I think you can go into that more comfortably in those 2 ranges of vehicles, and the customer is a lot more understanding that we're not going after everything. It saves wear and tear on you, it saves wear and tear on your equipment, and you just basically have a better relationship, I think, with the customer, because I don't want it to look like it's going into a museum.
Yeah, I think once you get that detailer's eye, the part that always catches me is you could have an awesome car because it's famous or popular, but with the detailer eye, you could always see that the car could be clean because it's just washed, or it could be detailed AF because somebody actually took care of it the right way. And so it's not I almost like to see a car that kind of like the average Joe car that's just beyond polish versus having seen a beyond luxury car. That catches my attention a bit more. So it's I don't know, I see things a little bit different, but there's some exotics that I dream of, and there's some regular cars that I dream of just being taken care of correctly. So it's always been it's fun to see things now. It's almost to a point. I have 2 little girls, and I got 2 daughters that look at me and they say, "Dad, that car needs to be polished, doesn't it?" I'm like, "It probably does."
Yeah, right. So, as a question that I ask a lot of the detailers that come on the show, when you are discussing with your customer, and it started with this whole conversation started with Phil from Miranda Detailing. So when you're detailing a car, and you have that initial discussion with the customer, and you're discussing, what their expectations are, what your expectations are, and price, the cost of what you're charging the customer, and you get into, and after you've agreed to everything, and you've made recommendations, and whether or not the customer has taken your recommendations or not, you get to that point where you're detailing the car, and then you see something that maybe you didn't see before, and you're like, I really want to do this, but the customer didn't pay for it, and the customer said they didn't need it done. I don't care about that. Don't worry about that. And it's one of those things where, you know, I know like Nacho Man he's like, I want it to be the best job that I can possibly do. It's more of a pride thing for me than it is, you know, you paying me kind of scenario. How do you line up in all of that? Where do you justify drawing the line?
That's a hard answer. That's a hard question to answer, only because it's been dependent on whose it is and how I go about doing it. There's been times where, let's say I charge what's considered a one-step, and here I am doing three-step on a vehicle. It's really dependent on my time availability, customers' time availability, expectation. In the beginning, I feel as though I probably put in a lot more time versus what you would say average pay. Just because I want it to be detailed AF, but you also have to set the boundary between what's a wash and wax kind of concept to what's a three-step polish, two-step polish, one-step polish. And so you need to set those boundaries with the customer so that the expectations are met. But yeah, me wanting to perfect stuff has had me kind of sit there polishing longer than I should sometimes to obtain that perfection. Yeah, either way, it's always a balance, and I probably do tend to be on the doing more work than what I promised, just for the sake of me being proud of when that car rolls out of my little space here, that it's to my expectation.
100%. I think that it becomes a billboard for you. It becomes a billboard for your business, and like we said, it's also a pride thing that rolls into it. So I would agree with you that I would always err on the side of delivering more. Real fast, one of the beautiful things about having a conversation with you and also a conversation with the crowd is, so I hope that Ricky understands that Papa Smurf is kind of a blowhard and likes to chat, and that I have been Papa Smurf's #1 proponent of charging more because of how good of a detailer he is. And I don't want Ricky to think for 1 second that I think that Papa Smurf is a hack. Even if he is a hack, I don't want Ricky to think that I think that he's a hack. So he knows he's true. Okay, good. By the way, I love the name The Beard Hunter. I love that. I for whatever reason, that makes me smile. I just read the Beard Hunter has made a comment.
He's a good Instagram friend to me.
Is that right?
Yeah. We both love cars, coffee, and watches. And so,
does he make fun of Papa Smurf for shaving his beard all the time? He's not allowed to have a beard.
Someone contacted me some time ago saying, "Hey, Adrian, do you know anybody that could detail my car?" And I'm like, "Well, where are you at?" They're like, "Texas." And I'm like, "Give me 1 second. Let me find out who's in Texas." So I pinged him. I pinged the Bearded Hunter, and sure enough, he's in Texas. And I said, "Guess what? I think you got yourself a job." And so we.
And Texas is a pretty big state. I mean, like, you're gonna have to narrow that down a little bit.
I just
because I'm like, it's a huge state. And you didn't realize it was. I got their exact location,
and I knew
driving it.
I knew Bearded was in the exact location. I said, "Well, I'm going to connect these dots real quick." So we had an awesome opportunity to share that, and because of coffee, we also did a coffee exchange as well. So it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I highlighted Titan Tim's post there. I don't charge enough. One, I agree that he probably doesn't charge enough, because you've seen any of his work on social. The man is Michelangelo when it comes to detailing. It's phenomenal. And I don't know if you've seen, like, what he likes to call the piano bars around the windows. It's just incredible. And I think that is probably where this community, and then on even more of a micro level, the community in your area kind of, I hate to say, what the market will support, but it's kind of like what everybody else is doing, and we run into that product with or that problem with our products all the time as far as pricing is concerned. Well, I can get it from that guy cheaper, and that his soap is cheaper than your soap, blah 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 blah, and you kind of have to go. That's because they're not the same. That soap doesn't get cut 600 to 1.
It is,
and when it comes to detailing, well, that's great, but this isn't a wash and wax. This is going to be your car is going to look reborn when I'm done with it. So yeah, we're not the same. If you want, you can go to that guy for half the price, and then you can bring it to me so I can fix it.
Yeah, the detailing game is very competitive at the moment. There's so many people out there, and undercutting is, I don't know the right way to describe it, but yeah, there's people that will ceramic coat your car for $300-400. I guess it just depends, right? And so you try to do your best to show your value and hope that the work that is posted is reflective of what you do. And so, yeah, there's times where I get a decent job and I'll split it with somebody here locally just for the sake of working together and creating wins for each other. And so that's always been fun. And some of those in the chat have joined me doing a job together. So my beard is still better than
we all know it's not true. Okay, we all know that's.
I need to get into this competition.
You might have to, but I mean that is a good look for you. You look professional, where the rest of us we just look like cavemen.
Yeah.
Maybe you should be maybe you should be the new face for Phoenix. We should talk about that at some point.
That could be an opportunity. I already have the beard. What else do I need?
I don't know. I think we should dive into that a little bit deeper in a few minutes. I think at the same time, I'm pretty sure that Humberto has a written dossier on everybody that he's ever interacted with. It's just he's got a little Rolodex of I mean, maybe we should promote Humberto to be the ambassador of networking, because he knows everybody and has a full dossier on everybody in the chat room. Oh, see that? Oh, Titan Tim, you had me at hello. Well, one, that's because we all experienced puberty before you did, and two, it's also because we are more mature than you, Papa Smurf.
Yeah. My beard's just detailed AF. That's all. Other than
Humberto for president. I don't think he's allowed to be. Humberto's not allowed to be president because you have to be American born.
When you're the CIA, you can't be president.
Right? I think you have to be. That's one of the rules. Like, I think that's why Arnold Schwarzenegger never became president. He was born in Austria. I didn't make the rule. That's the whole reason why Elon Musk isn't president, because he was born in South America, Africa. So, anyway, SiO2 beard oil. Let's get it done. All right, running back up here, Adrian. I'd love to be part of the next class.
Yes.
We need to figure out when that's going to be, especially if you get like a horseman like Papa Smurf attending. You're gonna have to rent out a warehouse to get this done.
Yeah, that's the goal. In my day-to-day job, I get a little bit of free flying miles. Obviously, the conversation of me going to MTE had me there for work. And so, if we schedule another course coming up soon, I'd love to fly out Papa just to kind of bring him over here to my dungeon here where I detail. And if we'll schedule something hopefully soon and get him to fly out and participate and join the fun and give him his little moment to share his knowledge and expertise. So I'm excited to make that happen. Or worst case scenario, I'm flying over to you guys. So
Adrian, when Papa Smurf came to Southern Detailers Conference, it was amazing. He and Brian, we had educationals in the morning. Day one we did paint correction. Day two we did ceramic installs. Everybody that came to the the Southern Detailers Conference, they attended our booth and our educationals. They got certified as well. Papa Smurf is a natural. He's a natural teacher. He's a natural he interacts with people so well and so fluidly. your next educational would be off the charts if you could get him to come down.
Yeah, it'd be an honor to have him. I do talk to him almost every single day on Instagram. So yeah, it'd be an honor to have him just to learn in person, hang out, get a drink.
If he cheats on me with you, people are going to get hurt. People are going to get hurt.
Telling you. But yeah, it'd be fun. We'll have that plan for sure. It's just we'll have to set the date and time and try to make some noise to see who'd be interested and make it happen.
Yeah, I think that I think that you'd probably get a pretty good, like your territory would definitely start expanding as far as your reach of people, because just from, Papa being in California as well on the other side, the northern side of California, I would imagine that people, I know Brian from Apex, he has people that fly in from Texas to attend his class.
That's awesome.
So I don't see any reason why, you wouldn't be pulling the same kind of clout, especially when you're collaborating with Papa. That would be something that I'd want to be a part of. So speaking of the MTE, talk to me about the MTE. What was that that experience like? I asked you to be like the, my eyes and ears on the floor, the experience of MTE. Tell me about that.
So that was my first MTE event. For me, it was it had like half and half. I think they call it PDR, paint dent repair, if I'm correct. So they had a half section, a whole half
paintless
section.
Paintless dent removal.
Perfect, thank you. It shows my experience on that end. So they had that whole half of the walk area kind of dedicated to that, and the other half was my bread and butter, which is the detailing world. A ton of people walking the floor and a ton of awesome vendors there that participated. And then we had a handful of vendors that kind of were walking around and got to meet a ton of people. Speaking of people, I met Umberto there. He was a ninja. He didn't advertise until he pinged me, said he was there. Where's the group at? Got a chance to meet Tim McLaughlin and Harold.
Hawaii Tim!
Yeah, that was a great experience. The event itself, I thought it was actually really good. I do go to a lot of conferences for my everyday job. And usually conferences for me, you go once and don't go back again. That may be rude, but you kind of capture the gist of it. This one, for the sake of networking, I thought was ideal. I probably need to attend different types of events similar to this to kind of get a feel of kind of where it stands to others. But for me, this was a massive win. And then the cherry on top was, we probably didn't announce it too much, but there may be a hint on my story. Got a chance to meet Ricky.
Right.
And Tim, Harold, and I, and Ricky all did a quick ceramic coating on his awesome 96 Acura Integra right-hand drive Type R. And so that was, that was the icing on the cake. And I don't know if I mentioned, I probably didn't, but his wife makes one of the best flans I've ever had in my life. So
yeah,
she made a flan. It was like 12 by 12. I probably ate almost all of it. And then I felt guilty for not eating that last like one by one that was left. But yeah, it was awesome. Great opportunity working with everybody that was there, meeting Tim, meeting Harold and Ricky, and his family, beautiful family. We had a great time. I owe Ricky a video though. We did do a little bit of recording. I'm still in the middle of editing all that stuff, but yeah, what an amazing time to just hang out with a bunch of friends. And Humberto actually ended up going with us that day to kind of joke around and have a good time. And he snapped pictures and videos. And so it's just, it was one heck of a time. I don't think we could have made that combination of an MTE event and then technically ditching a day to go work on Ricky's car. It was just a super memorable moment.
Well, I hope that we can recreate something like that the next time around. I've been talking with Papa Smurf, and I know I'm definitely going to attend next year. there was like 3 or 4 things that were happening that just like I was right on the cusp of doing it, and I'm like, I can't. And then I ended up damaging my foot, and then everything, the wheels came off the wagon. So, but next year I'm excited to do it. I'm trying to get Papa Smurf to come down. His only concern is that might be a conflict with his daughter is in competitive cheer, and they usually have a pretty big competition around that time. So, but if I can pull it off, I'd like to get Papa there. I'm definitely going to go. And looks like Humberto's going to be there again, and obviously you and Hawaii Tim will be there. We'll probably be able to pull a lot more in because, like Ryan was asking, is it just MTE and SEMA for detailing conferences now? I think so.
Yeah.
I know that the company that runs MTE also runs Southern Detailers Conference, and they killed the Southern Detailers Conference after this one. It was such a horrible turnout. I think 20 vendors canceled at the last minute, and the people that showed up, it was like the Phoenix booth was we were hopping. Phoenix booth was hopping, but like I was telling my investors, 100% of 200 people is still kind of light. You know what I mean? But Tim's going to be there. We're going to try to get Papa Smurf there. It looks like Phil Miranda was there. I'd love to hang out with you guys and and drink some apple juice after the show, because that's the best part. Papa Smurf and I had our fair share of apple juice in the apple juice capital of the United States.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I think I'm gonna for my 50th birthday, I think I'm gonna do the Bourbon Trail. I'm gonna go back to Kentucky and do the Bourbon Trail, because why not?
Yeah, that's the thing to do if you're in that area. But I would recommend it. I've never been to a SEMA show. I've seen it on YouTube TV, but I've never been to a SEMA show. That'd be something that I'm going to attend.
I went to the SEMA show probably 4 or 5 years working for the old company. And I really enjoy. I think the best for a business. I think the best part of that show was being able to attend seminars, and go to seminars, and get, the way SEMA is set up, you can every half hour between like 8 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. every half hour there's a different seminar that you can take, and there's hundreds of different seminars. You download the app, and you fill out what day, what seminar you want to be at. And there's 50 different seminars per half hour to choose from. So you pick out the ones that fit for you and work for you. And then you learn from like the industry masters. One year that we went, I did a social media class, and it was instructed by the vice president of Instagram. So I mean, like, who better to learn how to use social media than from the vice president of Instagram? It was awesome. She was amazing. She killed it, and I loved it. And so that's why I went there. But other than that, I hate Vegas. I hate everything around. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable there. I'm kind of a. I don't know. There's a lot. It's a busy city, and it's so busy that I start to get anxiety. Just there's so much.
Yeah, there is a lot going on there. Yeah, most definitely.
But I would like the times that I did go. I loved going there. It's one of those. It's a great place to visit, but I wouldn't want to live there. Kind of scenarios. And the food. The food. What's the word I'm looking for? The food scene, I guess. The food scene apparently is absolutely amazing. There's so many different things and amazing things and over the top things to eat. That's what motivates me.
Yeah, I'm a foodie like you, so if there's good places to eat, I've got to check off those boxes and make sure that I gave it a shot,
Michael, welcome to the show. Appreciate you showing up. Good to see you. And you're right, apple juice does make everything comfy, which is why Curmudgeons Corner always gets better around the around the 1 hour mark. I learned a little while ago to not pregame for these shows, because then I'm completely sauced by the time the first half hour rolls around. And if we're doing an epic show, by the way, for our 3rd year anniversary show, I've booked Papa Smurf, and we're going to be doing some record breaking. He promises that for my 3-year anniversary, we're going to be able to break records. So that's going to be the show to remember. Right now, I believe it's like 4 hours and 16 minutes is the record of a live stream that we've done together.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to be doing at least 6. So,
and if I'm correct, I'm looking at the chats. I want to say Mary. I met Mary there as well. She was roaming around with us.
Yep, Mary. Humberto ratted her out already.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, met Mary there.
So
yeah, the amount of people. Yeah, the amount of people that were there. That they're just very. They're just humble, and everybody shared information. There was like no celebrity feel. It was just like just meeting an old friend. So it was awesome.
That's fantastic, Humberto. I'd like to pick your brain about that guy for a little while. I've heard some fascinating stories on all sides of the spectrum, and he's definitely a personality in this industry. So for sure. Just getting off work. Oh. All right. What's your favorite part about detailing?
Favorite part? I think it's the. It has to be the results. Unless results, you're asking about the task. If it's the task, then yeah, probably my favorite.
What's your favorite? What is your favorite thing? What's your favorite part of the detail?
Yeah, for me, it's probably just polishing, just because the result thereafter is usually evident after you do a couple test panels or test sections. But I love polishing, and then the results thereafter have to kind of go hand in hand, right? You get something heavily swirled, and the attempt to make it look like glass is really my favorite point. I like to see a car and try to get it to its potential whenever possible. So
that's so good. It's so good.
You can't miss with Tim. You can't.
It's so good.
He's Tim is on the. Oh man, I love Tim. He's he's been awesome. And then when you meet him in person, it's just nonstop fun, hanging out.
Eric's got to hang out with him twice now, which is complete.
Yeah, Tim is awesome.
Speaking of anyway, so what's your least favorite part of the detail?
I don't like to get dirty, so I usually stay clean in whatever the hell I'm doing, so I don't like to get dirty. But you got to get dirty to make it clean. So least favorite. Probably my least favorite is as you clean stuff that is not probably well maintained, you've got all this crazy dirty residue in your driveway or in the area that you clean it in. So that's my part that sucks. But if you need to know a secret, you add a little Kraken and it all disappears. It's clean again. So
the Kraken is no joke. The Kraken is definitely no joke. Are we allowed to leak a secret?
We got a couple secrets we made.
We do have a couple secrets. All right, so you guys, the 17 people in the room are the first to gonna find out about this. We're launching another product. I should have everything ready for sale. I want to say probably March / Easter. I don't even know when Easter feels, but we always like to do like a spring thing. I try to do it quarterly. A nice send off, so we're looking at Stephanie's in the house. That's awesome.
Yay.
So we are launching an interior cleaner
Gotcha.
It's specifically designed for the interiors. It's an interior cleaner and odor neutralizer in one, for just those very reasons that you were talking about. Things that are funky and smell weird and stuff like that, and everybody hates to be doing these interiors. So we have the illustrations being drawn up right now. The labels are being created. The formula is already done and is amazing. And I'm really in love with this particular interior cleaner. And in the true Phoenix fashion, we try to do things that multitask. So it's easier on your wallet if you can do an interior clean as well as an odor neutralizer, all in one. Really excited about this one, and if it's anything like Peleus, it's going to take the industry by storm. There's a million companies that seem to be popping up every single day, but to be the best, you got to beat the best. To beat the best, you got to walk that line. Woo!
That's right.
Ric Flair, baby. So the name of the product is Typhon Interior Cleaner and Odor Neutralizer. Typhon is considered the father of all monsters. Gave birth to the Hydra and all the other mythological creatures, and is considered to be the father of all monsters. And that's what this beast is. It's we were able to tinker with the pH to make sure that it's pH safer than the Kraken. It's not as aggressive as the Kraken, where you have to really dilute it down in order for it to be safe for interiors. I mean, that was originally why Kraken was so great, is that it's so versatile depending on how much you dilute it, which is also why we sell it with a empty bottle for dilution purposes. Typhon is a little. The chemistry is different. The way that it attacks grime and like Kraken, I would say probably mixes a much better degreaser, whereas Typhon is definitely designed more for interior, home, office, upholstery, leathers, all of that fun stuff. I'm really excited about Typhon. It smells amazing, and it leaves the surface of whatever you're working on smelling amazing. And like I said, it belongs not just inside a car, but in the house, in your office, whatever. So really, yes, it'll be safe on touch screens as well. Yes, Ryan, absolutely. It is really cool stuff, and the science behind it. That's, for me, probably my favorite part of all of this, is being able to be in the same room as the chemist, and we were talking about things, and it was really cool when we were originally playing with it. You have the little pH testing strips, and I was dipping it in there, and it went dark blue, and I'm like, dark blue, bro, this is pretty high pH. And he was like, well, I mean, the way that, yes, it's high pH, but it's a safe high pH. And I was like, you try teaching that to everybody in the world, that a high pH is a safe pH. Like I can appreciate your the Wrath of Khan. I appreciate your superior intellect, but as far as the detailing world is concerned, there are certain standards that we have to adhere to, and a high pH immediately frightens everybody. It frightens me. Like I don't want to be messing around. So, like, how do we go about having this product, but then dialing back the pH? Can it be done? And he was like, probably, if I add this and this and this, we could, theoretically that would work. And I said, all right, well, what's the price increase on that? And he said, well, if you're doing it on a big scale, it's not going to be that much more expensive. I said, all right, well then do that. Like, if you can do it, do that. You know what I mean? That was, remember back in the day when we first started Phoenix E.O.D, and I was like, it's like having a chemist in your pocket. You can do whatever. That was what's really cool about it. I mean, well, if you can do it, like, let's do that. If you can do it, let's do that.
I think that's one of the biggest benefits of being Phoenix E.O.D is that the capability to kind of make adjustments as needed to improve. It's either evolve or die, isn't it? That's what I hear.
Yeah, evolve or die. Exactly. I mean, you know, that was, again, Peleus came about the same way. What's the industry standard? And then how do we make it better? You know, there's the old adage where it says, you know, the early bird gets the worm. Well, there's a better one that I like. It's like the early bird gets the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese. All right. So you can have all of these pioneers doing all of these crazy things, but then once you've trailblazed it, and then someone like Phoenix E.O.D comes along and says, well, how can we do it better? How can we do it better? And absolutely, Clifford, this is where the party's at. Welcome aboard. Glad you're here. Good to see you. It's about time you showed up. I thought maybe you were out in the baseball field hitting some balls around.
I think Papa asked if it was scented right now. That's what I caught. One of the questions.
Yeah, well, yeah. I can't explain the scent, but it smells good. But it doesn't. It's not like an identifiable particular scent. It's basically the way that the chemicals came together has a scent to it, and it's a very pleasant scent. But it's not like we added sandalwood to it, so it smells like sandal. I can't give you a code of what that scent is, but I really yeah, it smells. It's
fresh,
light. It's very light. You know, yeah. Umberto asked, does it smell fresh? I mean, when I hear that word fresh, I think of like fresh linen, cotton, something like a dryer sheet. So it's not dryer sheet. It's just it's a light, refreshing scent. It's like, I like the way that my car smells. I like the way that my carpet smells. I like the way that my cushions smell when I play with it.
You may want to share again when is the ETA that will be coming out?
Well, I would say at this point, the longest part of the process is getting the labels made. So, you know that I'm a big fan of like all these illustrations that I put on the back. The hidden image inside each bottle. Mm-hmm. So I have an illustrator that I hire to do the illustrations, and then I have a label designer who puts it all together and all of that. And then it goes to the printers, and then it takes about a week to get it back from the printers. So all of that being said, looking at the timeline, I would venture to guess that we will have a very lucky St. Patty's Day kind of release. So mid-March. Mid-March is where I would feel safe to say, boom, up. Ba-da-ba-ba.
Hey.
Yep. It looks. I think the other live stream finally got over because everybody's starting
popping more names in here. I see.
Yeah, everybody that was at the other live stream was starting to show up. We purposefully did it an hour after his show. Like, he's usually an hour. It's just like, all right, well, it's 6 o'clock. Gotta go, everybody. Bye. Boop, gone. And I was surprised that when it was time for us to hit the live stream button, they were still going strong. So glad that you're here, everybody. It's so good to see you. Rick Smith has to go. Oh, well, I understand. Rick did reach out to me earlier and said that he had some family obligations. So I do appreciate you giving us the time that you did give us, Rick. Thank you so much for your support. The guy is always reaching out to me, checking in on me, making sure that I'm still this side of sane, and I appreciate that about it. So that's my big secret. Interior cleaner coming out.
I'm excited. I got the wrong side. I got a little space over here. I think one bottle could fit right here.
Perfectly. That's awesome. Yep. All right. So what else you got? You said you didn't like to get dirty. Interiors. Just typos. What's next? Hey, we just hit the 1 hour mark.
We hit it. All in. Exciting. There's still one other secret, unless you want to save it for later.
We can. I think there's no better time than to hit it right now.
At the 1 hour mark, I'm down.
All right, hold on a second. Let me key you up. Boom. There you go. Where should I start buying my microfibers from? From Northwood Detailing.
That's a pretty good question.
That is a pretty good question. So I'm thinking that you should probably be able to get your you should probably be able to get your microfiber towels from I Am Detailed AF. Oh, what wrong one? Sorry, hold on.
That one
.com.
too.
That's right. I am detailedaf.com. Now, don't everybody rush over there right now while we're talking about it. But tonight, February 9th, 2024, would totally love to announce to the world that Adrian at IamDetailedAF.com is Phoenix's newest and only West Coast distributor. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you.
We've been talking for a little while, and it's pretty exciting. We had a little bit of some supply chain issues with the distributor that we did have, and obviously the Rolling Stone gathers no moss. We had to make some internal changes, and through many conversations that you and I had and working out some details, we're so happy to have you on board with us. Your energy, your Johnny on the spot. There was a couple of people that were in dire straits and really needed help, and you jumped right in and were able to get them products from Phoenix. I believe you were gearing up for your class.
Yes.
And you had some stock for your class, and I was like, hey, if you can get this to this person here in California who really needs it, I'll just replenish your stock. And so that was so
perfect.
It worked out great.
Perfect.
He texted me the next day and he was like, dude, it's in my hand the next day. Like, that's fantastic. It was so
it worked out perfectly.
You were Johnny on the spot. Absolutely amazing. And since then, that conversation led to a whole bunch of other conversations. And then it just kind of came out, was like, you want to do this? And you were like, I thought you'd never ask. And I'm like, oh man, here we go.
Most definitely. The course allowed me to have a little bit of inventory here. I already had my personal inventory, so that didn't change. But ramping up some inventory for the course, and then shortly thereafter, those conversations initiated. Real quick, obviously, Aaron, you had someone who needed something on the fly, and I said, well, because of the course, I've actually got inventory out to hand out, and I'll order from you, and we'll replenish before the course happens. And one thing led to another, and
I think Humberto, I think he means South Dakota, not San Diego. He is in San Diego, not South Dakota. Which, for the record, at Phoenix HQ, I have two maps on my wall. One is a map of the United States, and one is a map of the world. And every state that we have sold to gets a blue dot. Every distributor gets a red dot. And you can see on the maps where the territories that we've conquered. Okay. And I bring this up because South Dakota is the only holdout state that we have not sold to. I have 49 out of the 50 states sold to, and South Dakota is holding out on me.
We're just gonna have to send something randomly to South Dakota.
Right? Yeah, just a random. What is it?
Random home.
Random house delivery. San Diego or South Dakota. But I mean, like, I even sold to Alaska. we met a gentleman at the Southern Detailers Conference from Alaska, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll buy something from you." And then he's a return customer. So not only did he buy something from me at the Southern Detailers Conference, but then when he got back to Alaska, he bought again. So we've got 49 out of the 50, and I don't know what South Dakota's problem is, because I personally am a fan of that state. They just, I guess, maybe they're still riding horses in South Dakota and not driving cars. I don't know. Maybe I have to come up with a leather conditioner for their saddles.
Yeah, or polish some horseshoes. I don't know.
Polish some horseshoes. Yeah.
Count me in.
Riggs 920 in the house. Whoop, whoop. Look at Romberto just tripping off state facts. I was told, Humberto, you're going to have to fact check me on this, but we did some fishing in Idaho, and I was told that surface-wise, and I think I had this conversation with Eddie on the last show on Curmudgeons 21. I'm pretty sure surface-wise, Idaho is the largest state in the union. Now, it looks like it's the smallest state, but it's so mountainous and the sides of the mountains are so up and down that surface-wise, if you were to take the whole state and flatten it out like a piece of paper, it's larger than any other state. That's what I heard that somewhere. I went fishing with my dad a couple of years ago in Idaho. Probably the greatest, outside of my son being born, probably the greatest singular event was standing in the middle of complete zero light pollution, staring up at the sky, the stars, the mountains. I got so emotional just being so small and so insignificant. These million-year-old mountains and the universe around me. I was a speck. I was a dust, and it was I love this team. I love this town. I love this community. We're the best. We are the best community.
Yeah. The sense of humor we got in this room is awesome.
All right, I stand corrected. Alaska's is still the largest by miles. All right, well, I didn't know. I'm sure the person that told me that fact was probably from Ohio or Idaho. Anyway, I'm having some more apple juice. What do you imbibe in any of the spirits or whatnot?
Not as much. When I was younger, all the time. But now I just, if there's a meal, I'll take a drink. If I'm on the East Coast, I tend to lean on an old fashioned. If I'm on the West Coast, I tend to lean on a margarita.
All right.
So that's usually my two go-tos. It just depends on what side of the town you see me in.
All right. Well, East Coast for me then, because old fashions is my favorite.
Yeah, for sure.
Sure. Old fashions. There's just something. It's just classically delicious about an old fashioned. The Birch family are some of my best friends who are in Boise and own the largest potato plantation. The man gets around. Tell
me someone Umberto does not know. That's what I want to know. That's the $1 million question there.
That's right.
That's the $1 million question.
I don't know what that is. Superado, I don't know what that is. Do you know what that is?
I understand Spanish, but I don't know what that is. Aguardiente.
It might not even be Spanish because I don't think he speaks Spanish. I think
it could be something. It could be something specific.
Yeah, a Spanish name.
That I'm not familiar with.
Humberto, I've actually been to 49 of those states. I have Alaska still to go to, and it's on my bucket list. I will get to Alaska. I want to actually, if we're being silly, my dream is to drive a big RV with my folks and my family and drive to Alaska in an RV. That's what I want to do.
That'd be cool. Yeah,
it's a good time. Hey, Terry, welcome to the show. Appreciate you showing up. The national drink of Colombia. There you go.
Turtle.
Looks Russian. What looks Russian?
Me? Maybe I look Russian.
I don't think you look Russian.
Oh, okay. I just making sure.
I don't think you do. But at the same time, I don't think I know that you definitely have a very Latino background.
Definitely. Yes.
But I don't necessarily know if I would, I would put you into that category either. I think you're, if I were if I were to see you, I'd probably say like Mediterranean Greek. That's where I would put you.
Yeah, you know what? I am Latino, but I'm a chameleon. You put me in different groups, I'll try to blend in wherever I'm at.
See, I like the rock music in the background because it fills these deadly silences. Papa Dutchman. Is that another beverage? It feels like it's a beverage. Oh. The Dutchman has entered the chats. Papa Dutchman. Okay, all right. Cool. Hey, well, smash that like button, everybody. There's 17 people in here. I don't even know how many people. Oh, we got 5 likes. Come on. Now you guys are you're just riding the apple juice coattails. Is all I'm saying. If you can't even hit that like button, I mean, you're already here. We're already talking trash on Papa Smurf. You might as well.
Yeah, because of your opportunity, obviously the website, we built the website to host all the Phoenix products, to do the combination of Phoenix products. Obviously, you're going to need some other accessories.
Yeah, well, so that's what started this conversation. The start comment was, where do I buy microfiber towels? And I believe that you've gotten into a relationship with another supplier, a local supplier, about towels. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, fun fact. I thought this was interesting. So I obviously looked into microfiber companies. The one that I chose based on opportunity and location was Autofiber. Autofiber, fun fact, Ian is the owner. Ian lives in San Diego, or is from San Diego. And the warehouse, when you look at Contact Us, is like 10 minutes from my house. And so in my opinion, I was like, what other better combo? In addition to that, without me kind of paying attention, their initials, AF, match my AF. So I said, it just has to happen. So made some phone calls, and AF was very supportive. Autofiber was there.
Were you very supportive of yourself?
Yeah,
That's fantastic. I'm glad.
But Autofiber was very supportive, and they gave me an opportunity to carry their product line. And so, again, if you're going to buy Phoenix products, you happen to need some drying tiles to go with Titan, or some applicators to go with Kronos, by all means. That's what the intent is, to make it easier for people that are ordering products to have something affiliated to kind of go in the box with it. So at the moment, those are the two. And you could find it all on the website.
That's fantastic. That is fantastic. So I love that. I love your website. It's so clean. I was showing it to my investors last night, and it looks good. I'm so excited how professional you've done everything. So just really looking forward to this relationship and this distributorship, and it's good stuff. It's really good stuff. I can't tell you how honored I am to be working with you.
Thank you.
And I'm so happy that Hawaii Tim and Papa Smurf, enabled us to get together and talk and start that relationship. Yes, that is correct. Ryan Hansen, yes, that is correct. He had just asked me a question about buying the Kronos from you. He's like, this is the guy I bought the Kronos from. I'm like,
yes, 100%. It is Ryan. Ryan is the one I sent it to, and shortly thereafter we just we hit it off as well. So
so I already know that it's a winning combination. And then with your ability to run the classes out there, I just think that the presence of Phoenix is going to really start to take hold on the West Coast as well. And it's just one of those missing pieces that I really felt that we as a company we needed representation out there that is that has the ability to serve our customers as effectively and efficiently as you have proven yourself to do so. That being said, also we reworked our webpage a little bit. We're still working on trying to get that little tab at the top, but at the bottom it says, global distributors. And then we've tried to make it really, really easy for people that come to Phoenix that have that shell shock of shipping across the country. They have the ability. They now have alternatives to try to. Again, Phoenix wants to be as conscientious of your wallet as you are of your wallet. There's a million choices out there. We want to be a help to the everyman and not what's the word I'm looking for? An expense of luxury is basically where it boils down to. So, hey, Andrew Simpiri, speaking of distributors, Andrew Simpiri is our Australian distributor.
Hey,
so
there we go.
Our brother from across the pond on the other side of the world. I believe we're talking to him in the future. Yeah, so if you're looking for some Phoenix products down under, there's the guy right there. It's awesome. He'll leave me these. He'll take videos of stuff that he's doing, and I know this is stupid American, but he'll take videos and he talks in the videos, and I think he's just got the best accent. He's got that Australian accent, and it's really, I don't know. It's fun. It's fun. I enjoy the videos that he sends me because it's usually, somebody doing something stupid, and it's just good stuff. It's just good stuff. Crap. Actually, Tim, you did order products for resale, and I just didn't process it because I'm an idiot. Sorry. It's Saturday at 1:17 p.m. here. Yeah, it's Friday at 9:17 here, and it should be Friday at 6:17 where you are. Adrian, is that correct?
Yeah, it is 6:17 right now, California Pacific time.
Yeah. Well, it's the future where Andrew's at. When I drink 15 old fashions, I speak fluent Ozzy Osbourne.
That
funny. Is true. Have you ever noticed, though, no matter how bad Ozzy speaks, you can understand every word that he sings. That. It's the craziest thing. I've never seen anything like it. And then and then he starts singing Crazy Train, and you're just like, I know every word to Crazy Train. It's not even... Anyway. All right, so we got West Coast distribution. We got microfiber towels. Is it, what else are you getting? Are you getting anything else besides microfiber towels from them? Because you had mentioned something about blocks for ceramic coatings.
Currently I'm staring at it because my camera's facing the other way, but yeah, so we have applicators, drying towels, mitts, tire applicators, just a little bit of everything. Obviously, first time managing inventory is not the coolest thing, and so you just got to kind of carry the okay amount to figure out what moves, what doesn't, and go from there. Ryan's asking my main job, without saying any names, I do hospital construction consulting. That's my main life. Hospital construction consulting.
What does that entail, if you don't mind me asking? My dad is a construction manager. He built his own empire, construction management. So I know what a construction manager does, but I don't know what a construction consultant does.
So in essence, you get large hospital organizations across the U.S. They plan to have buildings go up in a 5, 7, 10-year period. They advise the organization of their budgets. We go in there and try to support them on creating strategy and purchasing power to to reduce their pricing, create strategies, some efficiencies, implement best practice, and in essence, try to save them money. So here locally, there's one that has a $3 billion project. We tie in the electrical, plumbing, lighting, and tie that all in, put it into a program. And obviously, if they buy off of it, the organization gets paid by it, and we save them multi-digits percentage of savings. So it's a win-win all around. That mindset and strategy obviously makes it easy for me to potentially strategize with inventory and now distributing product, right? Because distribution of product, or even Aaron, you owning product or being an owner, you have to kind of have a mindset of inventory management,
inventory, logistics. I mean, the supply chain, I would say, when we first moved into the warehouse, which would have been 2022. So we moved into the warehouse like July of 2022, and then September we ended up, like, because we had the warehouse, we now had the ability to ramp up our production, and in doing so, you know, the raw materials and all that fun stuff that had to come in from all over the country. I thought that probably was going to kill me.
It's not easy. Yeah.
Supply chain issues were everywhere. It was, you know, just getting triggers alone, you know, everybody, and it was coming out of the pandemic and all that stuff, and you know, manufacturing was way down, and so lead times for getting triggers, you know, well, hopefully we'll get it within the next 6 months. I can't wait 6 months for triggers. Well, what else do you got? Like, you know, and so 1 year, or, you know, 1 month we have this kind of trigger. The next, especially the smaller triggers that we use for Immortal, you'll see that there's been at least 3 different triggers that we've sent out, and it wasn't because of the preference. It was because of what I could get. Like, this is what I could get. It's been nuts. So yeah, I 100% can appreciate what you do on a daily basis.
Yeah, the strategy or logistics is always key. But me being new to building a website, or now trying to get e-commerce, it was a short period that you and I discussed. The transition is, are you open to make it happen? And I think it's been less than 30 days that we talked.
Yeah, it happened quick. And I mean, the thing is, again, your specialty of construction consultant, of logistics, of knowing, you know, what you need, you were able to put it together insanely fast. You know, I mean, it was just like, hey, I'm going down to file the business name, and then as soon as I'm done with that, we need to discuss box dimensions. And I was just like, this guy is a fireball. He is on it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
you're probably more together than I ever was.
I knew it's funny. I knew what I had to do, but there was so much that I did not know, right? And I still, to this date, I may look like I know what I'm doing, but it's an illusion. They say fake it. They say fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it. Well, yeah, it's an illusion. The shine on top of my head is actually tightened. I don't know. It's it's still it's work in progress. The website will be continuously improved. My way of packaging and doing stuff is going to be continuously improved, but there's a lot of stuff I still don't know, and I'm not. If you sit around and wait to try to get it perfect, then it'll never happen. So I guess the motto of the story is just go do it. If you get a chance to do something, just go do it. And if you fail, then it's okay, right?
I mean, for some of us, failure is not an option, right?
Well, agreed.
For some of us, failure is not an option. Like, if this project fails, I'm gonna go move in with Andrew Sampiri in Australia and become a kangaroo fighter.
We're all moving in.
We're all moving to Australia to be kangaroo fighters. That's what we're gonna do.
Failure, again, as you mentioned, is not Yeah, for me,
Yeah.
I hate or fear failure so much that I
Like
overthink
evolve
sometimes.
or die is not just a catchy name. It's what's going to
Yes,
happen. I'm either going to evolve or I'm going to die.
yes, and I believe in that as well, and that's why I thought yeah, working together would be ideal for us to figure this out. And so here we are, and I'm all in.
He put it in
And
writing. That's a contractual obligation. You see that right there. He
yeah,
has
yeah,
it in writing. So Andrew, you're on the hook now. Get ready for a roommate if this thing goes south.
yeah. He said
Literally.
it. He said it.
Exactly. I got it in writing.
We may need free rent. I'm just saying. I'm on my way.
Yeah. I mean, the bad news is that a written contract, like a written obligation like this, is only good for a year. So I'm going to have to trick him next February. I'm going to have to trick him to tell me again.
Yeah, yeah.
But now let's go. I want to go back and I want to address this real fast. Terry Foreman, I haven't
yes.
seen you in my chats before, so thank you for being here. I don't know if you've been here before because you're asking this question. If you're going to try a Phoenix product for the first time, what product would you recommend? And now everybody that followed here said Titan, which is a phenomenal answer. Titan is our flagship. We sell more Titan than anything else. We sell a crazy amount of Titan. It is a great product. But the answer that I would ask you, I answer your question with another question, and that is, it depends on what you're trying to do. If you're, if you're not really into all of that, and you just want to kind of keep your car clean. I don't have time to wax and wash and do all that stuff. Basically, it's a Sophie's choice for me. I love all of our products, and it really is what you want to do. I think that depending on the application is the product that I would recommend. If I'm trying to put my best foot forward, sure, Titan it's a phenomenal product. It's an incredible shine, incredible slickness, great hydrophobic abilities where the water beads. It's like I said, it was our flagship. It was what we put our best foot forward with that. But I love our soap. The Apex soap is I think is second to none. Titan has won first place in contests with forensic detailing. It's won first place with Pan the Organizer. Any of these, the really big detailer channels that do comparisons between products. Titan is always running at the top. Apex is running with the top as far as soaps are concerned. I think there was a little bit of a biasness that knocked us out of the first place because, dollar wise, price wise, for what you get out of the soap, there's no contest. Helios Panel Prep that we just rolled out on Black Friday of last year, every single person that has used the panel prep has said it is the best panel prep they've ever used.
Hands down, I did all that.
Yeah, it looks like a 50-50 IPA solution, but I can tell you it is by far not. We definitely put some magical ingredients in that to be, again, the second mouse gets the cheese. You had all these panel preps out there, IPA solutions, it gets the job done, whatever, but we can do it better. And that's what we did. And so, having a chemist in your back pocket, being able to attack one problem from multiple different directions, it's kind of like saying, dish soap is really, really good on fatty greases, and there's a science behind that. The reason why the chemicals that are in dish soap break apart fat cells. And that's why it cuts through grease like it's amazing. Blah, 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 blah. That's right, because that's what it's designed for. So keeping that in mind, if you are developing a panel prep and you have all of these different things that could be wrong as far as what you're trying to clean up, be it solvent residue from a polish or a compound, be it a wax or some other coating this topping that was on there that needs to be stripped off. You have to be able to approach that problem from multiple directions. Because if you don't, then you have a product that is okay. It's good. It's good, but it's you're basically what my brother, and anybody that's ever watched my channel knows that I take a great deal of inspiration from my brother. When he was on the football team, he used to say, if you're not the lead dog in the pack, the scenery never changes.
That's funny.
And I was like, well, what exactly does that mean? He's like, if you're not the first guy running in the pack, you're looking at the same spot from everybody else that's in front of you. And those are words to live by. So, I mean, you could have the pack that you're running in, or you could be the best. And that's what we constantly are trying to do. Terry, I wish that I could answer you, definitively.
I like to add in also, it also depends. When I first started detailing, I was huge into foam and making it look like it snows in San Diego. And in fact, if you see some of my posts, it still snows in San Diego because of Apex. But majority of the time is when I'm doing work, I am I'm doing rinseless. So for me, my pick has been Hydra over Apex only because I prefer rinseless because of time efficiency.
Sure. Yeah. We developed Hydra to have multiple functions. Like you can use it as a waterless, you can use it as a rinseless, you can use it as a clay loop, you can use it as a glass cleaner. Like it has all of those features depending on how you dilute it and tinker with it.
Agreed. Something
that Phoenix tries to do. We try to be as multi-purpose as possible, as economical as possible, and with our West Coast distribution, as shipping economically as possible as well. We want to be able to get our product into your hands as affordably as possible.
And as HM says, I likewise I put Titan on everything. So yeah, Titan Hydra would be like my quick 1-2 punch all day, every day. It snows every day because of Apex. He as was it Detail It? His famous you only need a thumbnail or something, or what, pistol?
It was a thimble. It was a thimble.
Thimble.
I love Doug. Doug has been on the show. He's a lot of fun. I could have talked. When we turned the camera off, he and I ended up talking for like another hour afterwards. Yeah. Such an awesome, down to like a salt of the earth kind of guy.
Yeah.
I love him. I love the way that he talks to the camera. I love the way that he carries himself. Such a genuine fellow, and he calls me up and he'll ask me questions, and I was just running my mouth, and I was just like, dude, you know what like 600 to 1 means? It means that you could take a thimble of soap and fill a bucket. And he was like, okay. Okay. Next thing you know, he pulls out his tripod and he starts filming it. Hey, I just got off the phone with Aaron. He says that a thimble can fill a bucket. I got my wife's thimble. We're going to test it out.
Yeah, it works without question. And there's not too many foams you can put in a foam cannon with only 1 ounce and still get very well performing.
Yeah, and I don't want, and I've talked to this with Eric. I've talked to everybody that takes their job seriously and is not looking for a photo opportunity. Everybody that I've talked to that takes detailing seriously, they want a foam that runs.
Yes.
One of the true joys that I get is that I get to sit at Brian from Apex. I get to sit at his feet as often as I want and learn from him. And he was the mastermind that helped me develop the Apex soap. And it was, I want there to be a lot of lubricity. I want you to be able to, run your hand across the surface of the vehicle, pick up that dirt and not worry about dragging it and scratching the vehicle. And at the same time, I also don't want like this shaving cream foam that just sticks there. It just sticks there. Yeah, it looks great on camera. It's beautiful, great photo opportunity, but it doesn't do your paint any good at all. It doesn't do the cleaning process any good. Like you're not helping yourself at all by doing it that way. You have a soap that is thick and foamy, but then runs. That's where you're doing your job. And even if you let it sit for a minute or two, that's where you're doing your job. If you let it sit for a minute or two and it just doesn't go anywhere, what have you done? Where's that dirt gone? Nowhere.
Where?
So, the foam doesn't work for me since they.
You could see Ray with Only Moto says it snows at Harley Davidson. Obviously, we mentioned him earlier. earlier today.
Yeah, we did.
But,
Yeah. Only we talked trash on you earlier today.
You missed it, Ray. You missed it. But yeah, you just there's such
Neil
so many
Walker
other
in the house. I haven't seen you in forever, my friend. How are you? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Adrian.
No worries.
It's just Neil Walker. He's been around in these chat rooms for a million years. I love that
guy. We could also bring up a little thing that we had fixed with the sock from
yes,
Detail Made Simple.
Yeah. So again, going back to your amazing networking capabilities, and the way that we all talk as a community, which is a beautiful thing here. Like every single person that has entered the chat room, everybody that enters, Papa Smurf's chat room, the Four Horsemen chat rooms, we all know each other. We all talk to each other. And then with that conversation continues on the social media platforms. And you reached out to me, 2 days ago? Maybe it was even just yesterday. Maybe it was yesterday or 2 days ago. I can't remember. But
2 days ago?
It might have been 2 days ago.
Has it been 2 days or 1 day? I don't know. We talk every day.
We talk every day. Everything just blends. The point of the story is there's a customer here in New York, he's only 2 hours away from me. You guys probably have seen some of his channel, some of his stuff. He does it's sea gas.
Yes, on YouTube, Detail Made Simple.
Detail Made Simple. Yeah, he goes by the handle Sock. Cat guy in the house. It's about time.
Hey, cat guy.
Cat guy. Mark. Anyway, so you guys are talking to each other, and he said he ended up buying he ended up buying a bottle of Peleus. Did a review on it. Thought it was the best panel prep he ever used. And then he went to buy a gallon from my website, and the website was going to charge him like $40 or $50, something like that, to ship from South Jersey, Philadelphia, to New York, 2 hours away. And he was like, I'm not doing it. I can't do it. And he told you about that. And then you told me about that. And I was like, there's no way. There has to be, and like, it's not that I didn't believe you or I didn't believe Sock. I was like, there has to be a problem on the website. I don't believe me is what happens. Like my initial response is I did something wrong. There's a glitch in the matrix and I got to figure it out. So within 2 minutes of you telling me, we were still on the phone together talking. Turns out I had entered the dimensions of the size of the gallon wrong. So instead of it being 7.5 inches in width, it was 75 inches in width, which is over 6 feet long. So anybody and everybody that tried to buy a gallon of Peleus on my website ended up, the machine thought that it was going to be a 75, a 7-foot box that was going to have to be shipped. And all the couriers, they ship by width, by size of the box and by weight of the box. So even though it was only 9 pounds, it was still Jamie the cleaner. It's about time, buddy. Caw-caw!
Yeah, good job on your guys' show.
We tried to drag your live stream as late as possible because you guys were still chit-chatting away. I thought you had a strict 1 hour. I thought you had a strict 1 hour limit on your live streams, and here you are 2 hours later, still going full steam ahead. You had a great lineup, though. Congratulations. But anyway, back to the story. We fixed it. So anybody and everybody that has ever tried to buy a gallon of Peleus off the website, my apologies. If you ever see anything like that, it's insanity. And just reach out to me directly. You can DM me, you can email me, you can call me, text me, whatever, and you know that I will try to address it. There's a bunch of shipping options that I cannot list because of the limitations of the website. That if you have a real problem with shipping, you can always contact me, and I might be able to do something on the inside from one of the different options that I just can't feature.
I think one of the benefits too of our partnership is the simple fact that certain things are not on that big distributor that starts with the A, but it's not AF. They don't carry everything. Funny thing is, I did a search for Papa cut on that website, and I ended up getting a shirt that says "I love Papa," so I just ordered that instead.
Who
But,
doesn't? Who doesn't
yeah.
love Papa? Everybody loves Papa.
But other than that, yeah, we now have a East Coast, West Coast capability to get you guys what you need.
Absolutely. I love the fact. So we have him from Shine Your Light down in South Carolina. So he's got the southeast region completely locked up, and we're good to go there. There's me up here in the Northeast. We got Fab Automotive Detailing, or Fab Automotive Supplies, Midwest, and now you have completed you're the bookend. We've got it. We've got North America locked down. Carzilla in Canada. So all of my Canadian brothers and sisters, he's the way to go there. I understand that things are still a little bit cold in Canada, so I get that. And then we've already mentioned Andrew from Ospro in Australia, who is our Australian distributor, and we have Imran over in the United Kingdom. Into Detailing is the name of his company, and he is our United Kingdom distributor. So the Phoenix name is growing, and the Phoenix family is growing. We are so close to hitting our mark on IG subscribers. It's just been a real fascinating. Again, I say it every time in every one of my shows. It's amazing to be a part of this community, the way that this community takes care of each other, and having the relationships that I have with you and the distributors that I have really have the ability to get our stuff into your hands as affordably and economically as possible, and making the best products that we can out there. So it's a big thank you to you, Adrian. It's a huge thank you to our community, because I know that we don't exist without you. Here, every single person is part of the Phoenix family, and the family doesn't exist, without you. So
yeah,
that's it. That's all I got.
Yeah, no, thank you for the opportunity, and I kind of have to out loud without saying everybody's name because I may miss somebody, but just say thank you to the community as well. There's a lot of people, YouTubers, Instagrammers, who've also helped me not only kind of build my confidence, but just educate me and kind of support me in the back end to even make the website happen. So it's just been very humbled, very.
Are we allowed to mention him? Because I think that he's been a really big. He's been a great supporter and a decent friend. Are we allowed to talk about it?
Yeah, we could mention it, but I don't know if he wants to shine, but we'll say it. But yeah, EC Details, who was on the Jamie show.
Yep.
He lent me a huge hand in kind of correcting some things that when you start a website, that's his expertise. And so, yeah, without a doubt, having someone like him to support someone who, like me, is just starting with that concept is just amazing.
Yeah, and not to cut you off, which I just did, but yeah, I know that he's helped other people in our industry, in our circles, help them with their websites. And I reached out to him in regards to my brother's T-shirt business, and I was like, "Hey, my brother, Amir's in the house. I haven't seen you in a while, buddy. Glad you're okay. Glad to have you here. Thanks for coming out." But yeah, so I reached out to Eddie, and I was like, "Hey, do you think you can help work with my brother?" And he was just like, he asked me a few questions, and off to the races. He was like, "Yeah. I'll read." Apparently, he oversees a big IT department, and they had a problem in Arizona. He's like, "I'm kind of sort of dealing with an issue in Arizona, but have your brother hit me up, and I'll take care of him." Fred's in the house. Oh man, hey, everybody's pouring in. We're having a good time. The apple juice is just started.
Yeah, he helped me out big time just to establish that. So I'm very grateful. Thank you, Eddie. Kind of saying out loud, even though behind the scenes we're doing your magic. There's some stuff I've worked with him in the past. I don't want to announce it yet. I want him to have the opportunity to announce it whenever he's ready. But that's kind of how it started our relationship. I was doing a couple things behind the scenes for him just because of him teaching me, similar to Jamie and others. I've learned a lot from everybody, and Everyone's been supportive. Jamie responds, Eddie responds. So many people with high popularity on the YouTube, the new TV, have been very responsive. Sure. Yeah, they've been responsive and supportive, and so I'm just very grateful, and it allowed me to be where I'm at now. So thank you all, big time.
Yeah, so Eddie was my first guest of 2024. He was, yes. I believe, Curmudgeons 21, I think, and just so much energy. Everything that he's gone through with his family. What a triumphant story! What a beautiful story! Hey, Eddie, we were not just talking about you, Eddie, at all. We weren't.
Ears were ringing. Ears were ringing. Yeah, ears are ringing.
But yeah, everything that he was going through with his family, and just I just got a real sense of his spirituality and his just genuine, and his ability to challenge me with questions, as well as me interviewing him. I had a lot of fun with him on the show. And there's all these kind of ideas that I have floating around in my brain. Definitely want to have Eddie back on the show. Maybe, Eric says that when you start putting a lot of people on a channel at one time, you talk over each other and things get lost and it gets confusing. But if we could put together something, and Stephanie from Divine Detailing, she asked me about this. If we could figure out some way to get 5 to 10 minute segments of personalities popping in, talking. And I think that may be something that Eric and I can do at the 3-year anniversary in July. Is everybody will get everybody in the chat room can join in. We're going to try to do I think the last time Eric was on the show, we did phone calls. You could call in, and then, I had the phone next to the microphone, and you could talk and interact and stuff like that. So I'd like to do all of those things. I'd love to do all those things maybe for the 3-year anniversary in July. We need to do something like that, especially since the Southern Details Conference doesn't exist anymore, and we're not all going to hang out in Kentucky.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. But yeah, just thank you out loud to Eddie for sure helping me on the site, and
I told you this was going to happen.
There it is. Yeah. The number came up. It's the hotline.
It's the hotline. Everybody knows.
If you know, you know.
It's the best part, talking over everyone. I don't know. I already feel bad when I can't respond to people that are chatting. You know what I mean? Like, I try to star so much stuff. But Adrian, you did all the work. Adrian, you did all the work, buddy.
I did what I could, and Eddie sprinkled some magic sauce. The donut lit up in the sky. If you know, you know. That also as well. The donut lit up in the sky, and he sprinkled his dust. And next thing you know, it just the site wouldn't be where it's at without his magic touch. So thanks, Eddie, and here's to making more magic in the future, my friend.
Absolutely. But again, you're a lot like the rest of the guys in this group that are very humble about themselves. I think that you're excuse me. I think that you're you have a real go-getter attitude about it. So definitely Phoenix doesn't exist without help from everybody. That's what started the whole Pay It Forward campaign was all about. But at the same time, you have to be hungry. You have to stay hungry, and you have to, have the vision and keep driving the bus to that vision. And like I said before, when you approached me with hey, I'm going to get my business license. As soon as I'm done with that, can I call you about Dimension? Like, you are a driving force in this empire. So make sure you give yourself that kind of credit.
Yeah, I'm doing what I can. If I look like a professional, it's an illusion. Going back to giving the guy kudos, I'm a fake detailer at heart. So it's you just got to go give it a shot. So here we are, and we're going to do the best that we can. And thanks to Aaron, he put the website up, and we'll be able to provide you with Phoenix products and a couple towels here and there. And we got some things lined up in the future. We'll be at a car show. If I'm going to do a shameless plug for a friend, we have a car show coming up. They call it the Rex Fest. It is a local car show here in San Diego. A neighbor of mine, Rex, runs that. It has a pretty large car community. He allowed me the opportunity to be the only car detailer in his event. So Obviously, we'll have Phoenix there going at 100% and trying to gain some traction on how do you educate people on how to maintain their vehicles at that car show. And then tied to that, we've been fortunate enough to tie to a print shop that obviously has done my clothing and done everything else. So the mobile print shop is another one that, again, based to these networks, are supporting me and working together to grow. So the mobile print shop is the shop that's mobile and prints all your clothes, business cards, anything that you want, that does it on the fly. And so, all this network has just been, just a crazy experience to have these people reach out and support when, they're not family and they're somewhat of acquaintances and random people just helping you. It's just, it's insane. I don't know how to describe it. I'm just trying to give back everything I can. And so when I have an opportunity to give, I'll give people product. I'll give people my time, my effort. I'll give people jobs. Like, I just do what I can to kind of give back because it comes my way. I feel like I need to give back in any way, shape, or form I can. So everybody around me has been awesome. So I hope I can keep giving as much as you guys have given me. So thank you, big time.
Well, I'll be honest. Everybody and anybody that I have talked to that your name comes up, they speak extremely highly of you. I mean, there's never been a disparaging word spoken against you.
No, maybe you haven't spoken to the right people yet.
Yeah.
Those other people, we got to keep those other people away.
Just go upstairs. You can talk to a whole room full of people that would rather not talk to me.
But things are going well. So we have that car show and then a secondary car show coming up. Odd thing is I'm the only detailer in these car shows. And so I think car shows are somewhat of a challenge. I think Shine Your Light probably has the best experience, but he's done those cars. But car show people kind of are a little bit more picky on how they like things. So, we'll figure it out. We'll have a good time and make some noise, and we'll make sure we post it on Instagram. That's my only avenue to communicate out to the world. So,
so many things that I have to say, but the apple juice is starting to take over. We should probably, we're approaching the 2-hour mark. We should probably give away something. What do you want to give away? I'm a big fan of the Peleus because everybody has a bottle of Titan in their hand. So I mean, if you want to give away some Peleus, we can give away some Peleus.
Jamie says it's his favorite as well. I mean, he may be able to answer correctly and refill.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen Keith Firebird in a little while, so hopefully we can do a contest where he doesn't win it.
Yeah, I think everybody actually has a chance now. Or Umberto is not answering, so I haven't seen Umberto chat in a second. So I think
Umberto's been chirping away this whole time. I wore a fake detail. I wore #fake detailer shirt at MTE.
Yeah, you did.
And then he wore a Mike's Auto Detailing shirt, which I responded to be wearing a Phoenix shirt.
Okay, guy said ban Keith from winning. But yeah, let's do a Peleus. A Peleus giveaway. I think that.
Oh, come on, Ryan! I'd let you win something else if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Ryan does win a fair share of stuff. It's again these guys that have been riding in the posse from the very beginning. They know stuff. Like you could say why do we call Papa Smurf Papa Smurf? Everybody in this chat room would know. Oh, it's because he wore blue. And Taco Smurf. Oh, because every time he was on Fab's program, he was eating tacos. That kind of crap. So we got to come up with a good question. Racing. That's right. Racing Riggs new. Boop, boop, boop. Blue biker suit. Exactly, Ryan. See, these guys have been riding with us from the beginning. They know where all the skeletons are buried. They know it all. I love it. Anyway, so let's come up with we got to have. I mean, you're kind of new to the Phoenix family, so I don't know. I wrote down a question from the beginning that I mean, it's going to go quickly. Like if I ask this question, people are going to answer immediately.
Well, let's do it. That's the whole point of it. I say we use that question.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What is Adrian's favorite part of detailing? The process. In the process of detailing, what is his favorite part? Riggs, you jumped the gun. You're out, Riggs. You lose. You jumped the gun. We just talked about that. I'm not gonna. This is the beginning polish there. I got Northwood. I'm gonna have to say Northwood Detailing over Eileen, because although Eileen is technically correct, because that was what you first said was your favorite part of it. When we dialed it in on exactly the procedural part, you said the polishing part, and so that's what I wrote down. The polishing is your favorite part of the detailing process, and I did clarify that question with saying the detailing process, not just what is your favorite part of detailing. So based upon that, Northwood Detailing, you win 16-ounce bottle of
some of the best
Peleus panel prep. There's my email address, aaron@phoenixeod.com. Send me your contact information if I don't already have it, or and depending on where you live in the country, I will have one of the distributors or myself mail out you a bottle of Peleus panel prep.
That's awesome.
Pop, 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 pop. All right, so that's it. That's 2 hours in. I've run out of questions. I think that we've covered a lot of stuff. One more time, real fast. West Coast distribution. I am detailedaf.com for any Phoenix products that you need. Basically, that side of the Colorado Rockies. That's where you want to go. If probably even closer and farther than that. So we covered that, West Coast distribution. And then we announced a new product that'll be coming out next month, which is the Typhos interior cleaner and odor neutralizer. So we're looking forward to that. Thank you all. Appreciate the love. Be safe. Eddie, thanks for coming out, dude. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate you being on the show, supporting us last month. I can't say enough about you. Appreciate that. And then so there it is, the interior cleaner, West Coast distribution. Adrian, thank you so much. Curmudgeons Corner 22.
Appreciate it. Thank you for the opportunity to represent you.
Oh, absolutely. I'm personally honored. In 2 weeks, we're going to have Eileen on here for Curmudgeons Corner 23. So Clean Detailing. On her Facebook, it's Mobile Detailing. On IG, it's just Detailing. I'm looking forward to talking to her, picking her brain. She's going to have some really cool insights. I think that we've tried to really focus in a lot on the female detailers in our circle. We had Stephanie on here. We had Chelsea from Attention to Detailing on the show. I think that in what is considered to be a predominantly male-driven industry, that the women that are part of our group are just absolutely on par, if not better, putting out just incredible work. Their skills, their dedication, and again at the same time just having that same community feeling about them. I haven't met a single lady in the detailing world that has any kind of chip on their shoulder or it can't do the job. Like I said, as good, if not better than a male counterpart. So I'm excited to pick her brain about all kinds of things, her perspective on the West Coast as well, and just again, we're just going to be jiving and drinking apple juice. So
definitely. If I need to add anything to Eileen, I know her show's coming up right around the corner, but she wanted to learn and she was willing to drive 3 hours to come over and jump on a project that I was working on. So just to show her drive and eagerness to learn, and She never tried rotary, and I said, let's go have fun. And so we jumped on rotary and went around a car together. So it was it's awesome. I'm very happy to call her a friend, and super excited to see her show coming up next. You guys can't miss that one for sure.
Nacho, you missed us talking about you. We were talking about you earlier, buddy. You missed it. I haven't had a chance to like really get into the minutia with Eileen, but I'm so looking forward to it because every time that I have interacted with her, she just seems like she's got a lot of that energy, positive energy, that the kind of people that you just want to be around and hang out with. Like again, going down to the Southern Detailers Conference next year, it'll be the MTE. Going to those places and hanging out with my kind of people, the people that just don't take themselves too seriously, have a good time, and know their trade, their practice. It's just works. It just all works. I think on above and beyond everything else, I consider us to have a true relationship. This community has a true relationship. Nacho Man's probably one of the hardest guys I know, hardest working guys that I know. Not just detailing, but his 9 to 5 is usually 4 to 8. So yeah, he's a hard working dude.
Good guy.
Better late than never, my friend. Good to see you. So I think that about wraps it up. That's we're at the 2 hours and 1 minute. Adrian, if you want to hang on when we're done here, we'll do a quick wrap up afterwards. One last time, smash that like button if you guys can. Appreciate the support. Like we said, there's 1,001 places that you could be on a Friday night, and you guys decided to choose to hang out with us. Joe, thanks for coming out, buddy. Let's go. Congrats, Adrian.
Hey, what's going on, Joe?
It's awesome.
Hey, since you guys waited all this long, how about I give you guys a discount code to the website for waiting 2 hours to
let's do that.
To hang out with us. So if you go to imdetailedaf.com, type in welcome 10AF and get yourself 10% off your order. Obviously, as I learn and as I get educated on the website, we'll add some other benefits. We'll add some other benefits to the website. But for now, I'm just trying to get my feet wet, trying to figure this out, and packaging your products as cute as I can. But yeah, for waiting 2 hours, welcome 10AF is a 10% discount code that you will find across everything on that website. So give it a go. Try to break my website if you can, and I'll ship it out as soon as possible. But thank you guys, and Aaron, thank you. I'm excited to make more magic with you, and excited for the new product coming out, an interior cleaner
and odor neutralizer.
Yes, I've been waiting for it because I have to dilute Kraken like crazy to get myself comfortable. So
it's definitely a sledgehammer, and this is definitely a finesse.
If I have to confess something, I got Kraken 100% accidentally spilled on my hand, and it made my hand a little bit itchy, irritated. So
is that right?
It's no joke. It's strong. It's some strong.
I know it's no joke, but I mean, I play with it all the time, and it usually I shouldn't be saying this. It just makes my hands feel not tingly, but like. No, it's just I can feel it. I know it's there. I know it's there. It's like I just feel like I don't know. Maybe it's the Kraken inside. I started to get like
If you start swimming in it, you'll feel a little Kraken in your body. It's no joke. So it's strong. It's awesome. So the fact that you're coming out with an interior cleaner is perfect.
Like I said, the pH, we tinker with the pH to bring that down and made it safe on all of the interiors, carpets. Everything. It's really a neat product. I'm really excited about it. You can use it straight as a spot remover, and you can also dilute it down 10, 15, again, trying to save people as much money as possible. It's another product that I'm just really, really proud to be the owner of. That's what I mean? Like these are my kids. These are my children. Like, which one do you like the best? I mean, I hate Papa, so maybe I hate Papa Smurf, so maybe Papa Cut's probably not going to make the top 10. But these other products we
funny.
really like.
That's funny. Everything but Papa.
Everything but Papa is great.
No, Papa's awesome. And at first I thought it smelled a little chemically. No, it's 100% blueberry. You know what's funny? I know we're going longer and longer, but what's funny is, so we are doing the course, and immediately I start putting Papa on the pad and showing what I'm doing, and with that, I guess without visibly showing Papa, Eileen's like, "That's Papa," and I'm like, "Yeah." Just by the scent alone, she's like, "That's Papa."
They all had to take it. Papa was like, berry, the Smurf berries, and then Fab. By the way, this is going to sound inappropriate, but Fab is looking good. He lost a lot of weight. He stopped drinking that cherry Pepsi crap, and he's lost a lot of weight because of it. But because he is such a cherry Coke fanatic, Fab polish had to smell like cherries, and then Phil Miranda with the Glossom Wax had to smell like pina coladas. He's like, when I open up a bottle of Glossom Wax, I want to be able to close my eyes and think I'm on the beach. And so it was pina colada scented. And then Apex, obviously, he said, I don't want any scent and I don't want any color because I don't want there to be any possibility of it damaging. He was worried about canvas tops. I don't want it to hurt a canvas top. I want it to just be pure soap. We can do that. So yeah, I think our scents are really important. I starred this comment. I hope it has scent interior. I don't think that I need to explain myself, Mark, not to you, since you showed up late and we discussed exactly what the smell was. You're just going to have to go back and watch or buy a bottle to figure out exactly what it does, if it does smell like anything. So, or you can talk to somebody that's been in the conversation from the beginning. Either way, I'm not telling you. Adrian, you can tell him if you want, but I'm not telling him.
He's gonna have to wait. Or when he buys it, he'll smell it. He could open it and give it a whiff.
Look at that. That's how much.
It's coming.
That's how much of a fan of it I am. I smell it, and I already knew it was.
I told you,
Papa Smurf.
No joke. Class started, placed on polisher, started polishing. That's Papa, huh? And I'm like, yeah, pretty darn good senses there. But yeah, thanks again. I don't know how else to say thank you. Sometimes I feel even thank you is not enough. But this has been a ride, and talking to you almost every day, Papa every day. Talk to Tim almost every day. Eileen. There's just so many people. Even Ricky, talk to him quite a bit. There's just so many people I talk to on a day-to-day basis that the community has been extremely welcoming and extremely supportive. And yeah, we're gonna hope to do some magic 2024. So here we go.
It's gonna be a good time. All right. Once again, everybody, thank you so much for coming to being a part of Curmudgeons Corner 22. In 2 weeks, we'll be having Curmudgeons Corner 23 with Eileen. And until then, you guys, be safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Love you and appreciate you coming out.
Bye, everybody.